We all know that today, working from home with the kids fighting, the dogs barking, and somebody's outside cutting the grass, that all of this mayhem gives you and everyone else on the call, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, agita. Then there's those times where you might have a colleague who kept their video on, forgot to turn it off, but it really should be off given what they're doing, and so you really don't want them to go viral. So wouldn't it be nice if you could turn their video off? I'll show you how to do that. My name is John Seaton, the Collaboration Specialist. My mission is to provide you with simple tips so you can have the best experience when communicating with customers and colleagues when working from home. In this video, I'm going to show you a bunch of functions that you can use to control your audio. Now, as a bonus, I'm going to show you how to turn off video of someone else, if you're the host, who's on your call, because you really don't want them going viral on YouTube. Let's get into the demo. The first demo I want to show you is a demonstration of BabbleLabs. Cisco announces intent to acquire this company. It does noise elimination through machine learning and AI. Check it out.
Now let's pick a couple of the classics like keyboard clicks. If I type on the keyboard, you're hearing the clicks and you're hearing me speak. Or the scenario of somebody maybe having their lunch, so as they're having lunch, they're maybe making a noise, getting things from the bag, and generally causing a disturbance on the call. So what if I enable noise removal from Webex and I go back to that scenario, and again I rustle the bag and make some noise. As I'm speaking, you should be hearing my speech very clearly and not less of the background noise. And similarly, if I type on the keyboard, you should be able to hear me speak very distinctly over the keyboard noise. If I stop talking, should hear nothing at all. For the record, making the same amount of noise on my local side with the keyboard, same level of pressure on the keys, and same amount of noise with the bag itself.
In the next section, we'll talk about muting, not only for small meetings, but for large meetings as well. We have 3 users that are in the Webex meeting. We've got John, Leonard, and Alexander. And as you can see in the upper right, they're all muted. And so I want to show you how simple it is for John, who's the host, to unmute himself. Now there's no doubt as to the state of whether you're muted or unmuted. You can see here the mic has a red cross through it, so you are muted. And now when you hit unmute, you can see the microphone, actually the signal going up and down. So obviously you were unmuted. Now, if you want to temporarily unmute, you have the new push to talk feature. So just hit the space bar and you will see your temporarily unmuted signal come up, and then release the space bar and you will go back on mute automatically. And of course, as the host, you have the ability to go to the participants list and control the muting of yourself, as well as you have the ability to mute other participants who are in the meeting. Now, another function you can go directly to the video screen of a participant and hit unmute. Of course, it won't unmute them, but it will send a request to that person to unmute. Now, there are a couple of mute functions in the participants list that you want to pay attention, especially if you're trying to manage a large meeting. There's the mute all button. So that will mute everyone who's in the meeting. It's a critical feature if you're trying to manage a large meeting and a lot of people are off mute. Now with mute all, there's a hard mute and there's a soft mute. If you have the box checked, allow attendees to unmute themselves, that's known as a soft mute. But if you uncheck that box and don't allow them to unmute themselves, that's known as a hard mute. Hard mutes are really useful if you have a large meeting and you want to make sure that no one accidentally comes off mute and disturbs the presentation that's being made. If you want to come off of hard mute, just hit the unmute all button and then all attendees will be able to unmute themselves. Now here's an important tip. If you're hosting a large meeting, you want to be sure that everyone's muted on entry and they can't unmute themselves. So make sure that you uncheck allow attendees to unmute themselves and check mute on entry. Now this last tip has nothing to do with muting audio, but it's about saving your colleagues if they happen to be on video and forgot. And so you as the host want to shut off their video. So there's a way to do that. So Leonard has video on his iPhone. We want to shut that down. So we just go to his name, right click, and hit stop video, and we as a host can stop his video. It would now be up to Leonard to re-enable his video. We as a host, certainly for privacy concerns, wouldn't be able to remotely re-enable his video. So that's it for this week. I really hope these tips will make your day just a little bit easier. Thanks again for watching.